everybody, it's Kayla from Kayla Crochet Love and welcome to episode 32, I think. If you're new to my channel, welcome. It's nice to see you here, and if you are returning, it's always nice to see you here. You may notice I'm in a little bit of a different area today. I was just being lazy. My craft room's downstairs. I didn't feel like going downstairs and having to set everything up. My camera was up here and everything, so I just figured I'd just come up here or I just put my camera up here and do it. It's not even on a tripod, it's just sitting on a bunch of books and stuff right now. If you hear things, it's because I'm in the living room. So you'll hear my dogs like that. You probably heard that. You'll hear my dogs, you'll hear my cats probably, so we'll just go with the flow. I don't have a whole lot to show you guys today anyways, that's why I decided to just stay here. Before I forget, I will also just mention, I will link down below where you can find me on the internet. And so yeah, I think that's it for introductions. My dogs are distracting me. The light might be a little funny too because we have big windows right here. I have the blinds closed, but there's a little bit you can see right here. The sun coming in, which is nice. We need sunshine. This winter it's been really mild, but it's been so gloomy like every day, so it's nice to have some sunshine. And the dogs are loving it. They're laying in the sun here, and so's my one cat. You want to say hi, Shiloh? Here's Shiloh. So this is Shiloh. You guys have seen him before if you've been following me for a little while. And Rocky's down there too, but okay, sit down. I'll be real quick. Anyways, on to fiber related things. So my only finished object this week, because I think it's been a couple weeks since I've been on. The only thing I've finished is this, and it is my Vanya cowl, and this is by Hannah of Cozy Cottage Crochet. I started this one December 26th and I finished it last week, and I love it. So it's more like a accessory. I mean, you could make it really thick if you wanted to, but I just made it so it was more like an accessory to go with like a black shirt or whatever. So I'll pull it off so you can see. I need a haircut. My hair is kind of crazy. Anyway. So it's very lacy. I have never made anything that was this lacy before. So it's really nice. I really like it. So you can see the lace. And I used ink sheep fibers in the colorway Merlin. This was a yarn I got in a subscription that I did with inked sheep fibers. And I'd been looking for the right project, and it kind of, when I saw this pattern, I thought of this yarn, so I think it turned out awesome. It is a paid-for pattern. I had got it on her, I think it was like a Black Friday deal or something she had, but they're very reasonable prices anyways for her patterns, so I will link it down below, of course. Very easy to follow. Obviously I can't go into too much detail because it is a paid for pattern, but it's easy to follow. She's very good at explaining what to do. I ended up chaining less because she made hers with a lace weight and this is a fingering weight yarn. So I ended up chaining less, and she explains how to do all that, and so it was just I really enjoyed the pattern. And once I got the hang of it, it worked up pretty fast. The first few rows took me a little while to get used to, just like I said, because of the lace. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. So, and I love the colors. So yeah, that is my one and only finished object. I will just move on to work in progress. I only have one active work in progress, and I have only one, I believe, set aside. So I'll talk about that in a minute. But the only other thing I worked on that I have anything to show you of, at least, is it's a sweater class that my mom and I were taking. It's a knit garter stitch sweater. You can use any weight yarn you want, and it just teaches you how to make a sweater using any weight yarn for any size person. And yeah, it's built in blocks. So I'll just show you a picture. So those are just examples of what you can do. It's not really, this is mostly just instructions and stuff, because she, like I said, she taught us in class. It was a 5-week class. We had our last class today, and my mom has pretty much finished hers. So we're making them for my nephews. So my mom is making one for the 8-year-old, and I'm making one for the 1.5-year-old. 1.5-year-old. So we are using Care Simply Soft, and I've been showing you guys this as I go. And this is Country Blue. So it is nice and soft. I've only used Care Simply Soft a few times. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan just because it's really splitty, but it's okay. Once you get the hang of it and you know what to avoid doing, it's not so bad. So it looks like a hot mess right now because of how you knit it. So this is what it looks like. Because it's knit flat, it looks like a mess. So it's not knit up or knit down. You literally knit panels and you connect from there. It's really interesting how it works. I didn't think I'd enjoy it, but I have. So this is the back. So if I fold it a certain way, I have one sleeve done. Not done, but I knit it, so I just have to seam it up. You can kind of see the shape that it'll be. So it'll be like that, and then I'm working on the side panel here. So this will come down like this. And then I have another sleeve to make, and then I just gotta seam it up and then pick up along the collar. So I'm really anxious to get it done. It's a little boring for me just because it is knitting back and forth, and I'm not the kind of person who can not look when I'm knitting. I have to be watching what I'm doing, especially with this yarn that splits so much. So it's a little tedious. I was wanting to finish the sleeve last night, so I knit maybe 3-4 inches, and that was hard for me to do. But my mom's almost done hers, so when I'm needing help, she can help me since class is done. And I will be sure to show you guys when I'm done, because I'm anxious to get it done. So one thing you might notice is there's buttonholes on each side. That's actually something she taught us to do, so that way when you go to sew the buttons on, you're making sure they're in the exact same spot as the buttonholes, which I think is a really neat trick. Because that was one thing I'm horrible at sewing on buttons. Not that I've sewn garments before, but even just sewing buttons in general. Like when I would sew buttons as eyes on amigurumi, I wasn't very good at it, so. So yeah, that's the only thing I've been working on that I can show you. Other things I've done, you may be happy to know that I have frogged my entire Bonjour High cowl. Last episode I talked about how it just wasn't making me happy to work on. It was giving me anxiety thinking about working on it. A few of my fellow YouTubers and YouTube friends just told me to just frog it. They suggested I frog it because it wasn't bringing me joy, and one of my resolutions for this year is to only work on things that bring me joy. So even last night knitting the sweater, it wasn't making me very happy, but I was so close. So I did finish it, and I am happy that I did it now, but that one was just, it was bugging me. So I sat down and I frogged it, which was a bit of a pain because it was fingering weight stranded with mohair. Frogging 2 strands is hard, and mohair is a pain. If you've ever used like a roving, like even like Red Heart Unforgettable or something like that, it frogs similarly to that. So I just took my time and I frogged it so I can make something else with it. But for now it's just gonna sit because I don't even want to look at that yarn right now. The only other thing I've worked on, so I also showed you last episode some yarn I got, and it's inspired by dog breeds. So the one I bought was for Australian Shepherd, which my old dog, our first dog we ever had, was half Australian Shepherd. So I wanted to make like a memorial shawl or cowl. So I've been trying to come up with my own design. I came up with something I was liking, but something just didn't feel right about it. The yarn just was too busy for the design. So I frogged that. Oh. I practiced it with worsted weight yarn because it's a fingering weight yarn. So I was practicing with worsted weight. I frogged that I don't even know how many times. So then I started it with the fingering weight, and so I frogged that twice, and the last time I just decided to scrap that idea. I'll save that idea for something else. And then I came up with something last night that I think might work, but I had to figure out the math and I still don't know if it's going to work. So I'll just, again, play around with it. I don't know if I'll have enough yarn, so we'll see. It might just end up turning into a cowl. I'll probably start it as if it was going to be like a wrap because I want it to be like rectangular. And if I'm running out of yarn, it's just going to turn into a cowl. So yeah, that's the only other thing I've been working on. I worked on that a lot actually. And yeah. So that's all for crochet that I've worked on. And the only other work in progress I even have sitting anywhere now that the Bonjour High cowl's gone, which honestly after frogging that I felt so much better, so thank you to everyone who suggested I frog it. Excuse me, I feel better already. The only other thing I have is a pair of socks, and I only have a little bit to go on the heel, but I haven't had the mental capacity, it feels lately, to want to do that. I've just wanted to do something easy when I'm not working on the design or whatever, or on my sweater, because my sweater I do have to think a lot. Like my mom found it really easy, but my mom's been knitting since she was 5 and I've only been really doing it for a couple years, like solid. So anyways, I think that's it for fiber content. I don't have a whole lot else going on. I have to do some studying for something today that has to do with work. So I've been putting that off for like a month, so I should really work on that. It's like 4 hours of studying and then an hour-long test. Ugh. And I have to do it on my own time. I do get paid for it, but I have to do it on my own time. And I've just been procrastinating. So I really got to get that done because I think I only have like another week to do it. So I really just want to work on some crocheting though. It's the whole time I was working on my knitting at class today, I just wanted to pull out my crocheting. But so yeah, I'll do a little bit of that. I figure if I do an hour each day to get the 4 hours covered, I could be done my test on Monday, maybe. So, but we'll see. And an hour a day doesn't seem so bad. Anyways, so yeah, that's all I have to share with you guys. I don't know how long this episode will be. Probably not very long, but sometimes that's okay, right? So yeah. No acquisitions either, by the way. I was good. I almost bought stuff today after class, but I didn't. So no acquisitions. So yeah, that's all I have today, guys. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.